Hello, everybody. This is Chris Baker, your host of the podcast, Tell Me Your Story. And today's special guest is Vickz and Mrs. Dings. And they're here to tell their stories. Both of them. Believe that. Both of them. So we're going to do like how we always do. We're just going to jump into this and start off in the early childhood. Let's go.
Ooh, early childhood. Let's get it, Vickz.
Early childhood for Vickz and Miss Dean. But Vickz, I was always a young, entertaining type of kid. You know, my family did Star Search, and you always had to do it. Wasn't karaoke. You had to come up with something and do something. That's what we did when we got together. So I come up like that. My uncles was musicians, so I watched them. They had bands and stuff like that. So by the time I was 14, I was directing and producing my own shows and putting together local shows here at gymnasiums and stuff like that. And by 16, I had an investor already that was invested in my career. So that's me young. That's the young Vickz.
As far as me, I have a completely different story. Me and music, we go way back, but starting young, I had no goals or wants to do music. I was very antisocial. I was very quiet. You know, I grew up in a very sheltered household, and I had my mom and dad, they were married for such a long time. They eventually got divorced, unfortunately, but it's life, right? But they got divorced, and so for me to cope with things in life, I started to do poetry. And then from poetry, I started to do music. And that's kind of how I fell in love with music.
Yeah, and I was a basketball player. Once played against LeBron James in middle school. We actually beat him. You know what I'm saying? And, so I could have been a basketball star, you know what I'm saying? So I was a very popular kid in school, with the school lights. I was probably the most known, you know what I mean? And, I went to 2 different high schools at one time. So I knew people from each high school. So we was really different, very different.
That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm like, this dude's got surrounded all this talent, all this, stuff going on. And then she's the antisocial, quiet. Like, how'd you guys meet each other? Where'd you guys find each other
at? Well,
they say opposites attract. Right. We've been married for 11 going on 12 years, and we've been together for 12 years. So,
right. But we met through music. Music brought us together. You know what I'm saying? I had a label we was part of the top local label in the area at the time, and one of her sisters came to audition for the label, and she didn't make it at the time, but she enjoyed the audition. And we used to have these sets at the studio where you can have people come over, this and that. She's like, oh, I'm gonna bring my sister over and this and that to that. So she bring her back over after we declined on the music side, but she knew we was cool people. Her sister stepped out the car, and
which is me. I'm the sister.
She's the sister, and I said, wow. I told my dude, I said, I got me one. You know what I mean? And I'm like,
this is all unofficial off the books, by the way. He didn't discuss this with me.
Yeah, I said, I got me one. You know what I'm saying? So I told her the first night that I was gonna marry her when I met her, because she came. This when Drake kind of first was popping. Drake was like really doing his thing, and I had a song that was it's called Since the First Day, and I was working on the song, and I was like, man, I'm better than Drake, you know what I'm saying? And she like, you crazy, Drake, the man, he hot. This when he on fire. He's still on fire.
This is when shouts out to Drake. That just
shouts out to Drake. He's still on fire. But at the time, I was like, I got a record better than his. And she in the studio with us, so I played it for her, and she was vibing to it. But then I played her another record I was doing called Schofield, and she was like, I can't even listen to this. She had to walk out of the studio. She thought it was that dope. So I was like, I already know she gonna marry me. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? I already know I'm gonna marry her now because she liked the music. You know what I'm saying? And the music it was
so
big.
So if I didn't like the music, how would that happen?
I had to decline her. You know what I mean? I had to find somebody else. That was a part of it.
I just found out something
That's
new
part
today.
of it, you know what I'm saying?
So I couldn't
be with somebody that didn't like the music, that I was so passionate about it. And you know, like when you trying to do something so great as entertain the world, you know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to just entertain my friends or the people in the back lobby. I'm trying to entertain the world. You need everybody around you really, really bought in to what you're doing, or it ain't gonna work. And I had found somebody that had bought into it. She looked it perfect, but then she was perfect because she was on the same thing I was on musically. So it kind of helped everything, you know, springboard along. She didn't believe me when I told her I was gonna marry her on the first day.
Of course not.
She didn't believe
what
me.
woman in their right mind would, right? I mean, I had my doubts.
You know,
I think as any woman with somewhat of a brain would be like, I don't know about this.
but when you're a real man, you know what you want. You know what I'm saying? So,
but he proved me wrong.
We grow up in a community where if you got a nice car, they think you got a lot of nice girls. So I had a nice car at the time, so she's thinking that
you did have a lot of nice girls.
Well, I did have a lot of nice girls. But I
wasn't one of them. But
I had knew that it was time to get rid of all them girls because I found the right one. You know what I mean? A guy that have a lot of women only got a lot of women because he ain't found the right one. That's it. So that's where I was at.
Look at him. Saved you.
Right.
Saved. So you being quiet, I'm saying, how did that work out? How'd you get into them? Like, because you said you were gonna go try out and do is that what you're saying though? She came out and she was gonna try to make the record?
No, actually, I didn't come out to do any music. I did poetry. And I would just like rehearse little things. You know, I watched a lot of music, a lot of late night, you know, MTV and channels. So I rehearsed a lot of things. You know, I didn't know what I was practicing for. But, you know, we have our moments where you grab the brush and you in the mirror, your favorite song, come on. And you like, so I had a lot of them moments. But to be honest, going through anger management and talking to more people, branching out, it made me, it helped me get more in the comfort zone to where I can start talking to people and be able to perform. But even before I was performing, he kind of, when he was doing music, I was like, well, you know, it was like months into our relationship. I was like, man, you know, I was just playing around and I was like, you know, I got something. He was like,
I want to tell that part of the story because
you can't tell my story.
That's not all the way accurate. That what really happened was this. I never knew she rapped or nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
I just dated her because she liked my music. You know what I mean? I never knew she rapped or anything. But her sister, now we're dating, we serious. Her sister, he said, well, my sister can rap. She coming around, he said, my sister dope. She can rap, boom, boom. And I'm like, she ain't never rapped nothing. So one day we at my dad's house in the room, I'm like, man, rap something, man. Everybody keep talking about you can rap. I ain't never heard you rap something. And she spit this rap, and I told her, I said, you the greatest female rapper that ever rapped. And she said, oh, I don't really do it. I said, no, we about to record right now. I wasn't, that album I was working on when I met her, it wasn't done yet. I'm like, I'm about to put you on this album. You gonna be the greatest female that ever rap.
So for me, I was not interested at the, you know,
I
wasn't really interested in doing music as much. It was more like a hidden talent. And it was actually a space that I went to for therapy. But when he heard my music, and he heard, it literally was just like a small 16 bar, if that, small little thing I had wrote down, and I just spit it to him, and I was shaky, and I was real rough because I hadn't even recorded at the time. So when I tell you rough draft, it was a rough draft at its finest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he was like, oh, I can hear it in you. You know, I can hear the potential.
I can hear it in you.
And so
you're gonna be the best to ever do it.
And so from there, he kind of drew it out of me. We did some studio and I recorded it. And it's so funny hearing, even, that's why I tell people, don't give up and keep pushing. Because even hearing the growth from then to now, it's amazing, because even there, I'm like, I would have never said it like that. You know what I'm saying? I would have never did that. But now, where I'm at now, I'm so much more comfortable as an artist. Right. And how I want to say things, how I want to do things. I know myself, which took me a very long time to figure me out as an artist. So don't get discouraged, people. If you don't know where you are yet, just keep pushing, keep doing it, and you'll get more and more comfortable with yourself. You'll find you.
Yeah, I had the funny part about this is I have been doing music for about 12 years. before I heard her do the first rap she ever done, I was already doing. I already had albums out. I already had the label. I already was an engineer, recording. I was already doing everything. But when I heard her, and what she's saying is I had been there on my first rap already. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard her first rap, I was like, "Oh, you gonna be the greatest ever do it?" Yeah, because I already. Well, I know, like you ain't never recorded, so I'm thinking like I already been through the recording process where you get better, the performance process where you get better. I'm like, you ain't even did none of this, and you already right here. Are you gonna be one of the greatest to ever do it? Because I could tell.
I had the natural talent. I just had to work on it. I had potential. I had to work on it, and then it came into what it is today.
Right. It came into fruition when I said a long time ago, like 12 years ago, I said you was going to be the greatest female entertainer. And here we is today, greatest female entertainer.
I mean, I'm working on that. It's still to be determined. It's to be determined.
I mean, everybody got their own opinion, so I'm allowing my opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it.
Please don't know. It's not up for debate for me. You know what I'm saying? It's just my opinion. It's not up for debate. So it's all good. Everybody got
I will not doubt me. I'm not going to doubt me. So if you say that, we're going to roll with that.
Right. Okay.
You just basically, it's written, man. You're planting seeds. And as you're speaking it, it's going to come into existence. That's how it works. So she will. We don't know who she is yet, but we're going to. And she will be. And then how you guys introduced yourselves. I thought you were gonna say when you were showing your music to her, I thought you were gonna say like that second track came on and she just started, throwing bars on there and started going to town, man. And that's how you knew right there.
That would have been fire if I was just like, hold on, let me get on that verse. No, it wasn't like that.
Because I to be honest, I never wanted to date a rapper. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to have a separate home life so I can come home and decompose. And, I just wanted somebody that was a fan of what I was doing. I wanted somebody when I'm writing it, they'd be, oh, that's tight. I never seen myself dating another artist because, we artists, we crazy, we unique people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we'll be somewhere and we coming up with a song. But, I'm glad that I am with an artist because we have moments that I don't think normal people can have because, like we can be in a car and it's supposed to be a long, grueling drive to Florida or to New York or somewhere else. And the car ride could be better than a vacation because what we doing in the car. You know what I mean?
You start catching that vibe, yeah.
Right, we catching that vibe. And that's the thing that, I never knew that, when we grew up, how I grew up, you weren't really supposed to even be married in hip hop. And I'm just happy to be with somebody where you can be your full self. That's the reason why I got married, because I wanted to be a true person. I wanted to be all the way me, unapologetic for everybody, for the whole world, you know what I'm saying? So, like in the music in the 90s, it wasn't like cool to be married, you know what I'm saying? And stuff like that, 90s, early 2000s, it wasn't cool to be married. So, when you coming up, that discourages you to even talk or even get married or even talk about marriage. And, right here today, me and my wife, the first married couple to ever record an album together in hip hop history. You know what I'm saying?
And it sounds crazy because it's like everybody does their research. They think we're like, no, let me do some research. You got all these people, but actually to do a full album together, not a song, like we dropped a whole project together,
right.
Collaborated on it. He wrote his stuff, I write my stuff. And you can tell, like people here like, yeah, y'all completely two different artists.
Definitely.
And we just bring both our elements to the game, to the rap game. I think that's what makes us so unique and different.
Yeah, and that's part of the story, and it was great that we was able to live it off. Because like I said, my uncle was a musician, and he told me when I was a young kid, he said, man, I was like, I'm gonna have a family, I'm gonna do this music. He like, man, you gonna either have a family or do the music. You can't do both. Like, ain't nobody gonna put up with this. And I'm like, I'm gonna have a family and I'm gonna do music. This is what I'm gonna do. I don't know what
you were determined.
I don't know what your life is, but that's your life. Like my mama always raised me, and my mama's a strong woman. She always raised me to say, like, you can make anything happen in your life. You know what I'm saying? Don't take on other people's trauma and all this. If this what you want to do, this what you want to do, and I'm doing it. And like I said, first married couple to come out with an album together. You know what I'm saying? 10 million views on our first single, Same Chick, went crazy. And it's just like, you know, it's like, it's the success. It feels
Trending
good.
on World Star.
It feels good to get trending on World Star, you know, write-ups in the local newspaper.
And I actually wanted to, go ahead.
But what I want to say is, it's great to do something you love and being you 100% in the world itself. That's the most beautiful thing in the world, because it's like, I'm not hiding that I'm married with children. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not hiding that I love this woman. You know what I'm saying? I'm not hiding that I got friends. I'm not hiding all this other stuff. Like, I'm living me. A lot of people, you know what I'm saying, living a lie. You know, like, I'm a crazy gangster. I done killed everybody. And you know what I mean? I'm rapping about it. Or I got 1,000 girls in a hotel, but they really got a woman and they married. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you got to go out here and put on this persona every night, and you getting paid to perform this, and it's not really you. It just feels so good for me to be able to be doing me, and people like it, and not being a character. You get what I'm saying?
And then I also want to say, just to tell you a little bit of a rundown about us, because before I give my opinion on that, I know you didn't really ask about the importance, but he kind of drew it in why it was important for him to let people understand that he's married and a family man and he living his truth. Well, so we did music for quite some time. He was doing music as a younger child, young teen. He grew up, you know, he was selling out like gymnasium type shows and had a big investor behind him. Me, you got the antisocial. Somewhere we come together and we start doing this thing together. We do a group thing together. We rocking shows. We going around. We doing what we can do as independent artists. So we've been doing this ride for a long time. We hit all the places that, you know, all the venues that got artists, and we'll let artists perform. And then from there, we actually ended up doing some talent shows of our own, because we started to realize that where we stay in Akron, Ohio, there was a lacking of places for talent to go and perform. So instead of, you know, going away, we wanted to bring opportunity. So we actually brought No Limit, which is Master P's label, to Akron, Ohio. And we had a lot of stars, not stars, but soon maybe some stars and soon to be stars, but at the time we had a lot of up and coming stars and people that wanted to, you know, do music and pursue their career at a very rough early stage. And so we got them all in the same building. We got the head A&R from No Limit Forever Records there, Masterpiece Camp, and they watching all that stuff. So fast forward, we end up continuously working with this person, and then we end up working with Master P. We get to Master P. We sit down, we talk about business, we talk about the song Zamunda, our album Zamunda, and the song that he was talking about that's trending on World Star, which is Same Chick. It was stamp approved by Master P. And Master P, this all comes into what he's talking about. So we're all sitting there, we're talking, we got a big business meeting at the mansion. This is just two kids from Akron, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this we don't know exactly when it's going to pay off or how, but we got dreams, we got a plan, and we know we're going to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So we sit there, we talk about it, and he asked me about the importance of being a woman in this industry, in this hip hop business, and why it's important for me to do what I love to do with my husband. And I couldn't explain it any other way besides I just don't want to. I want to be honest, and I want to show the world that there's other options. You know, because in hip hop, like he said, growing up, it was the same thing with the women. Like all the women were single, hot, and they were all over the place. You know, and I'm not knocking it. I think that's beautiful if that's what you want to do. But I wanted to, because I may do a track or two like that as well. I'm not putting myself in a box, but I am saying is there are different options for different people. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to just be this way. Even not trying to be funny, but like you even got the LGBTQ, you know, whatever they want to do, they're showing you other ways. There's other options. So we want to also let people know that marriage is an option in the entertainment business. Right. You know, so that's why it was so big for me. You can be young, beautiful, have nice things, and you can also rep your marriage. Like it goes hand in hand. You don't have to be something you don't want to be.
And I want to add to that. I want to say the greatest contribution you got to this world is your story. And we like to tell everybody's story is unique. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's what make art unique. That's what make music unique. That's what make all these movies unique. I mean, it's the stories, you know what I mean? So like people trying to fit everybody into this one story when there's so many stories to be told. And just stories, just one story, one more story, and boom, and this love is unique. Nobody can steal our story because our story is our story. You know what I mean? Now, if we was trying to be somebody else, you know, or recreate the story and making something up, we have something, you know what I mean? We might have something similar to somebody else. So the greatest contribution that you got to life is your story, and tell it. Tell your story. You know what I mean? That's what you gotta. Hey, that's what you got a mouth for. Tell your story.
All right, hold on a sec. I need to get a drink. That was a lot of information that came at me. I gotta.
He said he needed to get a drink, like Drink Champs. He said he needed a shot after that.
You should have told us. You should have told us. We would have all indulged in that drink.
But really, what you guys are doing to the industry, the music industry, it's really awesome though, because it's gonna help out the younger crowd as well. They're gonna look up to you and see a different, finally a married couple that is gonna set a different standard for the music industry, and that's what you guys are doing. I love that more than ever because that's really what we need. Like you said, the '90s was all about single women bouncing around, guy after guy. Same with the guys, different women, everything. And more than ever, right now especially, is we need to bring that back. And then for you guys to be doing that, that's just awesome, man. Incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
appreciate that.
I do.
Appreciate it.
And really, it's just only the beginning. So I could only imagine like being on World Star. Where else you guys gonna be at? 2 kids from Akron, Ohio.
Yeah, exactly. And speaking of only the beginning, I always like to kind of bounce around with stories and show the growth. Like I said, we started from there. I remember my husband and I, we were walking around on like the Vegas Boulevard, and this was like so long ago. It was probably like 10 years ago. We were like, we're going to do showcases, right? And then we came home and it was like, all right, we did showcases. Then we take another walk. So we were just talking about this the other day. We'd take another walk somewhere and we're like, okay, we're going to make it to P. Then we make it to P. We talk about it and strategize though. And I want to encourage artists and the young people, strategize and follow out your goals, come up with a plan. But I said that to also say, then we talk about how we put these showcases together and how we're going to rock shows. And then we do that, right? And then we talk about how we're going to sell out a show. And this weekend, we actually did our first show headlining in Cleveland, Ohio, and we sold it out. So how amazing is that?
Right. We've been a lot of places. You might have caught our article in the Breakfast Club write-up on they.com. We was on that. We've been in the Akron Beacon Journal 4 times. Yeah. So like numerous places. There's so many blogs that picked us up. I mean, I can't name them all, and I'm not gonna start naming y'all because I don't want to forget nobody and make nobody else.
I know Breakfast Club was a big one though.
But Breakfast Club was the big one, so we had to name them. But it was allmusic.com, all these. It was a bunch of places. But I do want to say, it's a work in progress. We're doing good. It was a big thing being I grew up off of No Limit Records. It was a big thing. Actually being there. I seen the crib on MTV and I got to actually see it in real life, and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful thing for us. It was a milestone, and a lot of people, seen Master P did. We was on the Master P review show for our clothing line, Trillionaire, that I'm wearing right now. The Trillionaire brand, which we encourage people to wear what they're worth. Believe human life is priceless. There's never been a man walking the face of the earth that's worth $1 trillion, but hey, wear what you work, and we believe your life is priceless. Put some trillionaire on, you're a trillionaire now. And that's the whole thing about that. So, that's another thing that helped us get to the mansion, you know what I mean? So that was a big point in our career. But, we gonna do much more beautiful things, y'all just stay tuned and keep following us.
Yeah, we got amazing. Like you said, it's just the tip of the iceberg. It's just the beginning. I can't wait. I know it's gonna be crazy shows. I know we're gonna have opportunities to do a lot more. And the whole thing about it is, like you said, when you first started, you was just like, you gotta be humble. You gotta be humble. You gotta respect every part of your life and every walk of life that you took. In every walk of life, like I respect individuals no matter where you are in life, because you can be the person with just a dream, and if you work at it, you can be the person that made it come true. So, we're really big on inspiring others as we're being, pushing to get our goals and get to where we want to get to.
Right.
Because one thing I don't play about is dreams, you know, because you got money, you got a house, you got a car, all that stuff gonna come and go. But when you're really on that deathbed, I don't think you're gonna be thinking about none of that stuff. I think you're gonna be thinking about, did I really maximize my time? Did I really get the best out of life, or did I get what I wanted out of life? You know what I'm saying? Did I get to live out my dreams? Did I get to live out my goals? Did I get to kiss my kid that last time? Did I get to spend, but you know, I get deep. It ain't
No, I know
I
exactly
get to go.
I feel like everything that you're saying is because it's the truth. I mean, there's a lot of people that are living out here that are, you know, somebody at one point or another told them that whatever they were chasing wasn't going to happen for them, and they believed that. And for you to, you know, come out and preach it, do that, because that's what the world needs more than ever right now. To put that
And believe
positivity out there.
believe it in our walk. So many people told me to quit. So many people told me to give up. So many people told me nobody ever made it in music from Akron, Ohio. You will never get anywhere. You have to move. You have to do this. But you know what I realized? I was speaking to people that had never done it.
Yep,
And that's what you got to realize too. You talking to somebody that ain't never done it. So the point of it is like, really what you saying, I'm taking it as a grand song, because guess what? You ain't never done it either.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean?
it's gonna be hard.
It's gonna be hard for you to visualize, because you ain't never walked through them doors either. So what I started doing is said, well, you would never do it. Me, I'm different. I'm different.
Yeah.
Nobody had never made it to the NBA from Akron, Ohio, until LeBron James made it, and I had remember playing against him. You know what I mean?
And you got
What
that
happened to
forever.
me, you get what I'm saying? So some of these stigmas, you know what I'm saying, I had knocked down. I was telling one of my friends one day, I said, man, just think about, you know, because we went to Master P, and I was like, just think if I would have quit 2 months ago, just think if I had quit, I would have met, you know, he was one of the top people that I liked in the music game. I would have never been able to be there. You know what I'm saying? So just think if I would have gave up on myself, I would have never got all of this and all the blessings. It's been gravy ever since. So it's like, you know, I would go through all the stuff again to get to where we at now, because you appreciate it more once you accomplish something.
And
I want to say this. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's all part of the story, man. That's all part of the you know, the struggle is the progress.
Right.
There, and just that's how you tell your story, man.
And the irony of it is, my first album was named The Struggle. My first solo album was named The Struggle.
Wow.
And I grew up with that. The struggle was a big thing. I used to love the struggle, because the struggle is progress is part of the process. You know what I mean? And if you ain't struggling, you're comfortable, so you ain't gaining. You know, no pain, no gain in the gym. So if you ain't got no pain, or you ain't going through nothing, or you ain't struggling to get something, it can't be that great.
And I want to say this because I don't want to forget. It's always like to drop a jewel. When there's a problem, there's always a solution. I hope we talked about how people would doubt you because they never seen it. So people like me, people like us, people that come from the struggle, people that didn't have a great support system, find a strong support system. When we got around people that was winning, nobody doubted us. Winners wasn't doubting us. It was people that weren't used to success, people that weren't used to seeing people win, people that thought, oh, you chasing your dreams, that's so weird to me. Like, that's different. You know, we working regular jobs out here trying to, you know, so it's like, get yourself around a strong support system, because we didn't have the luxury to have a strong support system. Everybody wasn't like, yay, y'all got this. Not from our marriage, because we got married young. Everybody thought that was going to fail. You know, to our music, us pursuing our music career, everybody at the time thought that was kind of like a joke. You know, so what I'm saying is, be persistent, believe in yourself, and get a strong support system.
Yeah,
that's facts. I'm gonna say this too, and make sure you treat everybody, even the haters. Make sure you treat everybody with respect, man, because you never know who you're gonna need. You know what I mean? In certain situations, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, be professional. You know, make sure your professionalism is up. You know what I mean? Because I mean, you might take a guy that got a podcast or a live show, and he only getting one viewer, and then 5 years later, you look it up, he the biggest guy in the world. And he remember, man, he was the only one that was professional that took me right away, and then he gonna help pull you up. It's like, you gotta really be, you know, like I was just telling my wife, you know, on the internet, y'all know how the internet go. You got people that just talk bad.
Yeah.
Talk bad. You know what I say? I say thanks for the feedback. Yeah. Even if it's negative.
It is what it is.
Because I'm gonna respect everything you say, and I'm gonna respect everybody. I'm gonna respect you even though you say, but it's garbage, you stupid for even doing this. Right. Thanks for the feedback.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Because
you're taking the time
to comment.
To even acknowledge me.
Because I will not never be negative to you. Yeah. I can't, because you took the time to say my stuff was garbage. Yeah. There's no song in the world that everybody likes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you part of it too. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you part of the success too. Everybody plays a part. So you gotta get it. Sometimes you can learn something for somebody telling you something negative. Maybe it is something you need to tighten up. Maybe them drums is too loud. Maybe that snare need to be a little bit, you know what I mean, clicking a little better. So sometimes you need to listen to some of them haters, you know what I mean? So, you know, everybody always trying to mute everybody and to stop and pause everything. But just treat everybody with respect and love, man, and you'll get the respect and love back, man. You know what I mean?
And while y'all doing that, while people listening and watching and doing that, make sure y'all play our album, Zamunda, Zamunda. Make sure y'all play the album, bump the album. It's got some beautiful music on there. I know we married and we in a relationship, but it's got a little bit of everything in there. If you ratchet, we got a little ratchet in there. If you love, we got a little love in there. So whatever you want, we to do it all in a pot. Yeah. And we to put it on this album.
And the greatest thing about this album and this platform is tell your story. This album actually tells our story. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It tells the whole about how we got. So you can listen to this and then go listen to this. It'll be like, man, this would be great. This is great.
Don't hit us up and judge me and be like, did you really do that? Look, I said it was real. Now leave me alone.
First married couple in hip hop history to come out with an album together. Here it is. And this sums up our story right here. This album actually sums up our story. It tells you about the drama, the love, all of it. We didn't hold no punches, and it's great. And it's
I ain't do nothing. And I ain't do nothing too bad. I promise. I ain't go to jail. It wasn't nothing like that. You got to hear for
but young couple, you know, and everybody wants that young love, you know what I mean? And we showed y'all what that young love looked like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you know,
I think that's crazy though. Now that I think about it, because you said your first album was The Struggle.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, we done so many projects after that, but this is the last project we just put out, and we're as kings and queens on the cover. Yeah. You see the growth from then and now as well. Is what I said that for.
First album was The Struggle.
Like you gotta show it the cover of it. So now we're able to present ourselves as king and queens, share our knowledge, get rid of the struggle mentality that was placed upon us and we were a part of. You know what I'm saying?
And I'm gonna say this too. That song that she couldn't listen to, I said this in the song. I said I can't wait to write a flow about being broke in the past tense. Like way back then, once upon a time in the little city Akron. And now I'm here with her. I can't wait to write it. And I already wrote all these songs is about being broken in past tense. I love it. It's here. It's here now. And that's a little jewel y'all drop. Yeah.
Wow. Can you guys kind of describe like what it was like working together on this album and just put it
my goodness.
All the hours?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm gonna give y'all both sides of the story. So the first side of it is my wife is the queen. She is the queen. I'm the king, but she's the queen. And the queen, she is a talented musician. So if you're ever working with somebody that's great, they're great for a reason. They're gonna dictate it. They wanted it how they wanted it. Great. But
that was your nice way of saying I'm a bossy.
Right, she's a bossy. But I'm bossy as well. Yeah. This is why this project we've been together 12 years and this project has never came out because I'm bossy. Because I'm great, I'm talented, she's great, she's talented. And when you got two talented people, it's hard to get, it's clash. Yeah. But I'm gonna give y'all a little bit the story. We made this album on Valentine's Day. Yeah. So we wrote the whole album one day.
Wow.
So, but But it took us a year.
It took us a year
to get to that one day.
One day. So I don't know if it was like the love in there. I don't know. But we were like, you know what? Valentine's Day. Let me
tell the full story. Just tell a story. The story, it was me and her had already took a vacation for Valentine's Day.
Early.
We already took a vacation before Valentine's Day. So we was like, this is what we doing for Valentine's Day. So Valentine's Day come, somehow we get the babysitter, all this stuff, the kids are gone. We go out to dinner and we like, well, what we gonna do? We like, well, we already went on vacation. So we like, well, let's go try to make the album then. We've been trying to make this album for a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's been an idea. We've been trying to do it.
We done came back here. We done came to the studio.
Yeah.
We done sat down with the try with the bounce things. It's like, we end up arguing, or he don't like how it sound. I don't like how it sounds.
Right. So it took us, but this day, for some reason, and I wish we would have recorded this because it could have been a documentary that night. This was the greatest night of my career. It was the greatest night so far. Because when you get on the same page with another great artist, like we couldn't stop. It was like, next song, let's go, boom, knock it out, boom. Next song,
with some more songs that didn't make the album.
But it was like a magical night. Like it was just like a magical night. It was one of them nights where it was like I wrote 4 songs in a day, stuff like that, but I never wrote 12 songs in a day, and we wrote like 15 songs in one day. In the night.
And because we didn't even start early. So it was literally like after dinner. It was after dinner. And then we banged it out.
Yeah. So
that food must have been so good because it fueled us through.
It was a great moment. And I'm just telling you, it was like one of the moments. And I mean, that's how I knew the album was gonna be right, because we sticklers too. So like when it's coming out and it's flowing like that, and we like it, we both like it, and it's good. Boom, it's like, okay.
Because I'm my own biggest critic. Like I'm not one of those people that's like, I like it because it's me. No.
Nah, no. Oh my goodness, it's hard for me to like something the same day I do. I'd be like, I gotta go to sleep on it.
Yeah, I don't even know. If I like it, that makes it even worse, because sometimes if I like it too much, I start second guessing myself. Like, well, do you like it because it's you? Yeah. You know, then it makes you have to go do more homework, and it's like. I finally got to a point where I can just smooth sail, let my lyrics be my lyrics, let my art be my art, and then accept it regardless.
See, I'm like that when it's my own stuff.
And also like it at the same time.
Yeah, I'm like that. I need a day for my own stuff. If I do features, like, I don't know, it's something about features that's different for me. Like, so when I do features, I like it the same day. But like my stuff, I need a day. I need a day.
So to sum up your question, we argued a lot. We laughed a lot. It took us a year's worth of work to fit in 24 hours. Well, I can't even say it.
About 12 hours.
About 12 hours of work, of hours. And we banged it out.
And it was the most amazing night. And it was great. It was like, man, it ended up, we did No Matter What was like the last song we did. I can remember I'm in here yelling the hook at her, like, cause I love you, girl, no matter what. I'm taking my shirt off, like, man, I love you, girl, no matter what. But it's like we already did all these songs, and it's like, man, I'm feeling this, and it was crazy. It was
sometimes it'd be like that, you know. I don't know if you've been around artists or like you've been in like a more intimate studio session or recording session. Sometimes it's like it's a small performance within itself.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's a different vibe, and especially with us.
I can definitely say I've been in a studio. And I know that experience is when an artist gets it and it starts flowing, and like you could put on whatever track, man, and he's just gonna keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
And then what's more special about it is that you guys are a married couple, and that love between each other and just it flowing, and you know the rhythm being there. How awesome and special that really is on a deeper level that a lot of people won't understand.
And it is dope on a deeper level, and plus. It's like, man, like when you get married, like a lot of people don't understand, like this really my, you know how when you rap with your guys and you doing this, them your homeboys on a different level, but it's like I got a wife that's my homeboy like that. Like
And
this my,
that's what I'm
so
saying.
it's kind of
Like having
like it's kind of crazy. Like it's kind of crazy for real because she's so much a part of a sacred part of my life that it's like, you know what I mean? It's like it just make the bond even deeper, you know what I'm saying? Like for me, you know what I mean? Like it's like something I can't even explain. Like, you know what I mean? I'm glad I found this woman, man, because you know, like I said, I never thought I wanted to be with an artist at all. But I mean, it's actually a special thing, you know what I mean? I think more people should.
And it's big for me to be able to share. Like I just went on Facebook and talked about this on my live too, and it's funny because it kind of came up now. It's like it's big for me to be able to share these moments that I love with someone I love. But see, it's not like calling your best friend and telling them the news. It's like we experienced this together, so the memories are completely different. You know what I'm saying? Like we bouncing. You remember that? Oh, you remember that thing? That was crazy. You know, it's like two homies really talking about a situation that we both witnessed, that we were a part of.
But we both here. It's like, man, you remember when we was on tour?
But sometimes he get a man. We didn't have our days. Yeah, we like if it wasn't clicking. You get on my nerves. I need to go to the corner, go to timeout, get going, disperse. Let's try something else. So I don't want to give an idea.
But the highs are so high. Like, and then a bond and a connection, because like not only do we do music together, but we also got a network that TIW TVMD network, and we got shows like Tap In with Vickz and Mrs. Dean, a live show we do on Facebook where we talk about relationship topics, different type of topics all the time. And we got a new show we coming out, Route 8 Podcast. That's gonna be out on the network. We doing that, so we doing this together.
And Route 8 Podcast, for everyone who's into the celebrity, you know, the celebrity life, we interview a lot of celebrities, different walks of life, and they give you their perspective, just like an interview, you know what I'm saying, from different people.
Right, so we doing that, and it's like, we building this network together. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, it's just like, you got to do something with your friends to be friends. You get what I mean? Like, you can't just be friends with somebody and y'all never do nothing together. And it's like, it's almost like it's the same thing in a marriage. Like, you have to do something with somebody and it's like, I don't have to do nothing corny to be with my wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people like, I'm going golfing with my boys, I'm going to play basketball with my boys, I'm going to go to the club with my boys, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go home and eat dinner with my wife because I don't really, but it's different with me, you know what I mean? Like, me and my wife is going to concerts, and we selling our shows together, and we doing shows together, and it's like, we do all the fun stuff together, and it's like, man, it's hard to add a friend. Me and her doing all the fun stuff.
Third wheel. It's almost like everybody needs a date. It's like, they be trying. You know, they like to crack jokes sometimes. Like, wow, y'all work together. Wow, y'all do this together.
We do all the fun stuff together.
If it ain't broke, we ain't gonna fix. We ain't gonna fix it.
Right, and we do all the fun stuff together. It's like, if you do all the fun stuff with your friends,
of course it's gonna seem like you're having more fun with them.
It's just like you're having more fun with your friends. Like, I do all the fun stuff with my wife. My friends, we do the boring stuff. We sit around and watch basketball games. It's like, it's not that fun, you know what I mean?
And then that's when you find yourself sitting there like, I wonder what she's doing right now. As you're sitting there with your boys.
Right. Like, man, all the cool stuff is happening with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you know.
I totally understand.
It's like, what I'm hanging out with you for? You bad luck, man. Nothing happens good. You know, I chipped my tooth on the beer top with you, bro. It ain't working for me. With her, I ran into somebody. I was watching a TV show. I ran into him with her. We was talking to him.
We do that. Somehow we have that type of thing. I don't know how these things happen, but
I mean, but that's all. Like I said, like I said, this is our story. Everybody got their own story, and we're not mad at anybody for living out their story. This is our story.
And I want to say this.
You know,
don't think that your relationship is bad if you don't have that type of connection. You're looking at somebody that two people that were in a relationship for a long time with each other and grew together. We were young together, so we grew up more like we weren't kids, but we were young adults, so we were growing a lot.
20.
So if you don't have that relationship, don't not, or, think that you're in the wrong situation. Give yourself some room to grow with your partner. Solution, like you said, do things with your partner, have fun with your partner. You know what I'm saying? Don't be the type of in a relationship where you just come in, hey honey, and you going to bed after work, or you eating but y'all barely talking. I want to say also, the biggest thing that helps us is music, and was working together and stuff like that, because sometimes being around somebody so much, you take it for granted. So you're around them, but you're not doing anything with them. Right. Like, it's like we just around each other. We smile, giggle, and then we go about our day, but we're around each other all day because we live with each other, but we're not doing anything with each other. So it's like, I think if you had that type of relationship where you want more of a friendship with your partner, just start doing things with them. Just start small. It could be the small things.
And I ain't saying just music. Music is our thing, but it's just having a common interest. We got a common interest. And it's a good thing.
You can do board games. You can go something small that we're about to do a board night, date night. We're going to do board games. We're going to play the Nintendo. We used to play Pac-Man. We used to do a Pac-Man night. You know what I'm saying? So it don't have to be this crazy, high level. We got to sell out shows together. No, you don't have to do that. Like, to have a successful relationship, you can just chill. Y'all can do a date cook night.
But
it's a bunch of things.
The dopest thing is like that. Our goals align, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's a lot of people's goals don't align, you know what I mean? They kind of may be with the wrong person, but our goals align, and that I think it make it easier for us, because it's like, man, I want to sell out a show. I want to sell out a show. Okay, let's go sell out a show then. Okay, then it works out, and we, like our goals align. I think that help us, and that's us though. Like I said, I like to tell people that, because sometimes,
Hold on.
when we talk about our stuff, it discourages other people, and we don't want to discourage anybody.
No, because there's a lot of imperfection in the perfection.
Right.
Like, it's some areas we were great at, amazing at. It was some areas that we really had to work at. But you look at, I think the biggest step is first taking the commitment to even decide to be committed to somebody that long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then you can get through all this other stuff.
You can leave now.
You done
with you.
You done?
No, I'm just
social media, man. I wouldn't be surprised, to get a breakup on a podcast these days.
We're done on a podcast.
That would be a great headline. That'd be a great headline.
First married couple.
Breaks
up on my show.
I'm like, I gotta delete this one because I don't want to be the first for that. So.
You'll get a lot of hate now. You did.
I can't believe
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Exactly. I could have had that out me, man. It's like, it was your fault. You did that. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Yeah, but that's that.
But I kind of want to give that, for the listener watcher right now, just give them a taste of what it's like to be a power couple, a married couple, to be doing this, just performing together. Kind of just go into detail, describe what that's like to sell out the stadium, and what that's just give a taste of what it's like.
I'll tell you, honestly, for me, it is an emotional roller coaster. And that's my best way to describe it, because it's literally like life at its fullest. So it's like the highs and the lows all wrapped up in moments, because you're preparing for the show. You got to do the hard work and grind. You got to make sure everything goes perfectly. Then you knock it out, you kill it. And then, then you may not also kill it. You know what I'm saying? It's life. So it's like, you have to deal with the ending result of everything. So on your high nights, your high it's fulfilling. It's enthusiastic.
But
you just all over the place. On a low point, it's like
the lowest of the lows.
But it always feels good, because you always get, like, even on a low night, we buddies, so we get to pat each other on the back.
No, but to be honest, it feel like you have to love what you're doing, because it feel like, for me, it feel like constant work. Yeah. It feel like we're working 24 hours, because you got to think like if I was not married to my partner, like, I would do all the work, leave the office or whatever. I would come home and I would leave that stuff at home. Leave that stuff at the office. But it's like, no, it's no leaving nothing nowhere. It's no like, it's like the only negative part about being married and going through it is like, I can't come to her with the negative thing, right? I can't say, oh, this guy, he's spinning us, but he not giving us enough spins and this and that. I can't do it because she a part of it. So now instead of her coming and saying, oh, it's all right, she gonna be like, oh, well, we gotta figure that out or this and that, boom, boom. So it's really
it instantly turns into a business.
Yeah, it instantly turns into a business. Yeah.
We're in the bed at 10 o'clock after doing the show. We're like, well, the DJ from here, they didn't, you start brainstorming together sometimes.
So that's why I feel like a continuous 24/7. But the thing about it is, that's a good thing when you're coming up. The bad thing about it is really no break. We have to consciously say we're not going to talk about the business. We
got better.
You know what I'm saying? We have to, like, we used to go out to eat, and really out to eat was a business meeting. We should do this, boom, boom. We had to say, look, no business today. It's our anniversary.
I actually put my foot down on that. I started that. I said, you know what? Not today. Not today.
But it's a good thing. It's like I said, everything in life. I always used to say everything is 50-50, but I come to learn new information that everything is not 50-50. It could be 100-0. So I take it as all good to me, because whatever it is what I chose. So it's all good. And I think it's all good. I think,
which just makes the statement, life is what you make it, even more true.
Yeah, life is what you make it. So I just, like for us, is just our life and how we living and what we doing is, like I said, it's continuous work, always something. I mean, it's a lot of details in the music business. People think it's recording music and selling it and performing it. But it's a lot more, like to get placements, to get it on the proper platforms, to be interviewed by the right people, to be, for people to hear your story, to even feel more emotional about your music, to be, people don't understand there's so many radio stations here with internet radio, with FM radio, with podcasting. It's so many places to put music nowadays that it's always something to do. You know what I mean? And it's about what you want to do and what you need to do to get to where you want to get to. And when you with somebody, it's a great thing. But sometimes she got to be the mother. You know what I mean? And she might want to, I got to cook for the kids, or I got to make sure this right, and maybe I'm on the business. And then you're looking at it like, oh, you're supposed to be doing this too, or you.
That was probably the biggest challenge of being married to your business partner and friend and not having all wrapped up, is that once you learn, I think you have to learn how to respect each roles and respect that everybody may play a different role at different parts and different times. So you might be on the business, I might be on the home, but that all goes together, because then if the house falling apart, you gotta take a break from the business. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think that was a big challenge for us, but I think we did a good job.
We did a good job. I think that is a big challenge. I think the big challenge is recognizing what a team is too. I think people think a team is everybody working on the same thing at the same time.
That's what I was saying.
And I think that what we come to learn is, just because you're not doing what I'm doing, maybe I'm just taking care of that for you, and it's still getting done. And that make us a team. I always go back to the Chicago Bulls, the 72 and 10 team. You take somebody like Dennis Rodman, he was just getting all the rebounds. Jordan scoring all the points, but you need somebody to get the rebounds. He wasn't scoring. He wasn't trying to score. And it's like, we try to build our team that way, like to where everybody ain't scoring, but you might be over here rebounding. You playing defense, you ain't doing nothing but shooting threes, but it makes us win. And that's what we try to do. That's what we try to do more now. And that was the hardest learning lesson, being married to your business partner.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because you thinking, well, I'm doing this while you ain't doing it. Well, you doing it. You doing it. We don't need two people to do it.
There's 1,001 things to do around here. Right. Like, trust me, ain't nobody falling short. And I think once you start respecting that everybody playing their role, I think it gets a lot easier.
Yeah.
Guys, straight preaching over there, man. But do you guys perform together all the time, or do you guys do solo acts from time to time?
Well,
We have
done solo acts. We have done more. Like we had a record label, so we had other people around us at the same time. Right now, the new album is so hot. Everybody wants us together. You know what I mean? So they want us to do the show together. You know, if the bag right, you know, I think we got some award shows coming up that it should be doing. And
we'll be doing. We'll be performing.
Well, we perform, but it's more her booking. So she hosting. So like we open and do things. I got albums outside of her. She got albums outside of me. She got 2 solo projects, and then she got another group project that she put out. And I got maybe 10 records.
But after this project, and like he says, I have my own solo projects. He has his. But after this record, after pushing it, we're open to going back to doing solo projects. So it's not like we're married, but we're not married into the idea that we have to do the performance together every time.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Another telltale sign. This album came out on around our 10-year anniversary. So this album did help us celebrate us being married for 10 years. And our biggest song is 12 Years Later. We was dating for 12 years together, but it was actually celebrating our 10-year anniversary. So, maybe the next album come out on our 15th-year anniversary. I don't know together, but I know we always record music. She got so much music. She is multi-talented. She sing, rap. She do rock and roll. She do all kind of stuff. Man, like her catalog is crazy. And,
I'm a fan of music.
Yeah, she's a fan of music. She do so much. So people will get to know that more throughout the time. So we would be performing solo because it's stuff that she do I don't do. You know what I mean? And it's stuff that I do that she don't do. Different type of music. So but right now what we doing is what we doing right now. You know what I mean?
And then with traveling wise and having kids. So when you got a gig and you have to go out of state or somewhere, how does that work out? If you say you got something going on over here and she's got something going on over there, how does it work out with the kids? Do you got somebody that watches them or?
Yeah, so with us, we did No Limit reunion tour for about 2 years, and then we was going every weekend. We got a great support system. You know what I mean? We got a strong family. So
shouts out to my sister.
Yeah, shouts out to her sister.
Shouts out to Auntie. Yeah. I'm not saying it's not, but she has been strong.
She's been strong and helping us out. Shout out to Brother Troy though. He's been helping us out too. Yeah, so my brother, you know what I mean? So we got people.
Sister Cheryl, Brother Troy.
Yeah, Sister Cheryl and Brother Troy. Shouts out to them. They've been holding us down. We got a family. Sure. We got a big family that, that we're not worried about that at all because we raise our kids as a village. So, they cousins is almost like their brothers and sisters anyway. So, we just was fortunate to have a family that's going to support and aid and hold down the kids. And we got an older daughter that help out and this and that, so we ain't really worried about that per se. And our kids have been on the road with us too as well. Our youngest daughter got a single out. It's Your Birthday by Brooke and Marie. You know what I'm saying? It's out everywhere, and we took them to certain shows and certain venues that's proper for them. So. It all depends on what's going on because we do like to show them the world as well. And if we can show them the world through hip hop, that'd be great too.
And that pretty much answered my next question. Is the kids in the industry too? Since you guys are the married couple, are they coming up too with music or what's going on?
And the thing about it is, but we're not forcing it on them because a lot of things that you hear about the industry is true. You know what I mean? So it ain't the most kid friendly industry, you know what I'm saying? But it ain't the worst thing either. So you know what I'm saying? But for us that we got the structure, we own our own studios, we self-publish and we can do everything. We can promote it ourselves, we can do everything. We don't really need no help. So yes, if our kids want to do it, they can do it.
And as long as it's fun for them and they really want to do it, Yes, we support it. It's more of like, I'm supporting in the air like any other sport. Like if your kid want to play football, you get them prepared for football. So if they want to do music, as long as they want to do it, we'll hold their hand through it. If they decide not to, it's not no big deal. They don't have to live up to
mommy and daddy. Yeah, they might want to do their own thing, but like I said, like my daughter, she dibbled and dabbed. My oldest daughter got some songs out too. Meaning K, she got songs out. So, but if they dibble and dabble, that's fine. But if they want to do it full time, we right here to help them. So it's on them though. I want my kids are they talented. All of them. My son, he talented. Real good with computers and stuff like that. So I don't know what they're gonna do, but whatever they're gonna do, we're gonna support them on whatever they're gonna do. And they're allowed to do pretty much whatever they want to do. And we right there holding their hand through it.
Hope whoever's watching this right now, listening, you're really taking this in. These guys are not only changing the industry, but they're setting the standards as well as parents.
Yeah.
We just two
normal people.
Two human beings trying to figure this thing out. But we have some things that we're really serious about. Family was always big for both of us. Not even as we came together. He was always big about his family. I was big about my family. So it was simple when we came together. Of course, family first. You know what I'm saying? Everything we do is about the family, and it has to make sense. I think that's played a big part of our success, and it's going to continue to play a big part of our success the more and more we grow, because we have a lot. We have a lot more growing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm excited for the growth. I'm excited for the future. So.
Yeah, and I think I to piggyback off of that, I really feel like the family is a big thing, because music business and all that, we do all this for the family. So the family gotta come first. You can't put, you can't say, well, I'm out here working for my family, but your kid's sick and you ain't at the hospital. Like you're not really working for the family. You're working for the money now. You know what I mean? So you gotta be honest with yourself. And there's certain things that we do, we be honest with ourselves. So like if our kids need us, we go do what we gotta do for the kids. You know what I'm saying? And we go make sure we there. We make sure we make everything. The family is always first with us, and that's big. But you gotta.
And that's the icing on the cake. We still grinding. We still working.
Yeah, we
still working to provide.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we still grinding, working to provide. Yeah. Running businesses. Treating their clothing brand. The All in Committee record label entertainment company. Doing shows and
still got podcasts.
So it's a lot.
So we doing a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. So it's a lot going on, but it's our business. Our life is fun. We enjoy it. You know what I mean? And like to me, on the parenting side and the family side, family always gonna be first. I can't say that enough, and I can't stress that enough, because this is what we're doing it for. We're doing it to make a better life for them. And to create a life for us, you know what I mean? And my legacy, if I made $1 billion and my kids hated me and I ain't know them, that ain't a good legacy for me. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that's just the type of guy I am. You know what I mean? So hey, that's important, and we sacrifice and we do what we gotta do. But we sacrifice other times. Some people say like, oh, well, it'd be hard with the kids. What it is you gotta sacrifice your going out time. You gotta sacrifice your bar time. You gotta sacrifice that little self-reflecting time that you get to be on social media for the 2-3 hours. Like we turn that time into work time, but we ain't gonna sacrifice the kid time. You know what I mean?
Speechless. Well, what is like the most difficult thing you guys come across in the industry that like really kind of challenges you both?
Well, when you run your own company, the challenging part is to get for me is really the relationship with the fans is the most challenging to just gain and grow, because all of the other stuff is our decision. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not, we get contract offers, we appreciate it. I ain't saying that we ain't listening, but we just ain't found one that we want. So, you know what I mean? Like we work for us. So it's like when you the boss, it's like You know, it's like, I don't want to do this, so I don't do it. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. And like, you know, we went to this stuff not hard, but I'm gonna say it's irritating. Like we went to a conference one time and we come in, married couple, and the guy was like, well, it'd be easier if you just did the, you know, the stripper girl music, and if you did the dope boy gangster music. And, you know, my wife looked at the guy and said, you know, well, you know, we standing on this, you know, we had already decided before we came in what we was going to do. Like, we ain't about to go, you know, redo the music. It's like, you going to play it or you ain't. I mean,
not to cut you off, but I had to say that I have to jump in on that because that's why God don't give you what you can't handle, man. Because years ago, when I didn't know who I was, I might have been like, you know what? You're right. I need to try the stripper stuff. But, you know, like me know who I am now, it wasn't even a thought or a debate. I didn't have to go home and be like, babe, are you cool with me doing stripper music? Like, we need to discuss this for a life-changing moment. It's just like, what's for me is for me at this point.
And I think that was the hardest thing in the music industry. Like, being like, because it, like, we didn't have all kind of opportunities. We didn't work with so many people. And just being able to notice and say, this ain't for me. This ain't what I want to do. This ain't what I want to do. It's a great opportunity, but it's not what I want.
And then
so that's the hardest thing for me. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. That's the hardest thing for me. I don't know about you, but that's the hardest thing.
I mean, for me, I'm gonna just say fake opportunities. You know, I just be honest. You know, in this business, you deal with a lot of janksters. You know, you deal with a lot of people that'll put you in a lot of bad positions.
That's another one. That's another one. That's
That's why you have to do some type of research. You have to have some type of common sense and some type of common ground and understand the field of work that you're in. I know they make it look fun and like it's a hobby, but a lot of people are running these businesses and making a lot of money off of them with hip hop and music in general, not just hip hop, just music in general. It's a money-making machine if you know what you're doing right. And I haven't even tapped into all the resources and ways to make money off of it. So you're not speaking to me as a pro, but you're speaking to me as somebody that learned from just all the fake opportunities after opportunity. You know, all the inboxes where it's like, oh, hey, you know, I want to fly you out. And it's like, but do you got a man? And it's like, oh, well, I'll holler at you next time. It's like, it's happened. And I'm not knocking it, but that has been my biggest challenge.
It is different. It's definitely
different. It's a field of sharks. Like,
different,
especially if you don't know what you're getting into.
It's definitely a different experience from being a man and being a woman as well, because her as a woman, it's been, you know, celebrity support, you know, that reach out to her and I want to do something, but they really don't, you know what I mean? They really want to, you know, do something different. And it's like,
they want to do something.
They want to do something, man. Got nothing to do about music. And that's the thing that's unfortunate. I think that's the black eye in music. I think, you know, some people coming out and saying things about, you know, they have to have sex with their artists and all this other stuff. Like, people saying stuff like that. And that's unfortunate, you know, for women. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that.
And I was just telling my husband the other day, I said, one of the beautifulest things though about doing this music, everybody knows me as the girl that's the first married couple in hip hop. So a lot of those fake opportunities, they're decreasing. So it seems like you might get a lot of opportunities, but the truth is there's only so many opportunities. Like, some of that opportunity is good to filter that out. So if you can't respect me for where I'm at, that opportunity probably wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's just like, that's the hardest thing. It's like picking what to do and what not to do. That's the rough thing about the business, because you don't want to miss a good opportunity. But the key that I think how we mastered that is knowing our goals, and I got our goals. I think
this album is what helped us master.
Yeah,
to be honest, because when we recorded the album, excuse me. When we recorded, I need some water. I need my drink. But when we recorded the album, we basically agreed that this is what we were going to do. You know, we were going to do the marriage. We were going to do the marriage thing. We're going to push our marriage. We're going to show people unity, love, and all different types of whatever falls under the umbrella of a strong marriage, the story behind it. So anything else that had came in, it was like, well, even if it's just for this time, it's a decline because this is what we're pushing right now. like I said, I'm not putting ourselves in a box or myself in a box. Other opportunities may come in the future, and I may be like, you know what, I'm down with the more ratchet side of things and doing this, but we're particularly pushing something at the time.
And that's the key, knowing what you want.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we solved that. But that was probably the biggest problem. I mean, because we've been into a lot of different situations to where it just don't work out, because it's like it's an opportunity, but it wasn't an opportunity for us. And sometimes when you as talented as we are, we could do anything, you know what I mean? Like we literally can make you can say, make a song about this. I say, well, hit me in an hour. We had a song for you. But it's not.
I can bet. It can go so far. We could do church music, then we can do that, and you know, total opposite.
We could do whatever when it comes to music, and sometimes being that talented, I think, makes it difficult deciding what you really want to do. So you got to kind of know yourself. Some self-reflecting is big. You know what I mean? For us.
That's what I was thinking too. You answer my question about like just other artists want to working with you and just stuff like that, like, you know, trying to take her out of the picture and trying to do stuff or trying to do stuff with you. I'm like, is it really like that?
That happens always. But I tell people like this: she got the best contract in the world. It's legally bonded. It's a marriage. So you ain't gonna never split us. You ain't gonna split us. We gotta go to court to get split. You know what I mean? And it's for life. The contract ain't for a period of time. It's a life contract. So what I'm saying is don't even try. Don't even try.
I BS you not. That's not just from like on a high level. That's from peers. That's from friends. Yeah. That's from everybody. Like they see us doing our thing. They see us with it. It's like, well, did y'all think to challenge each other? Should y'all do like a battle thing? Should y'all do like a battle of the sexes? And it's like, or do you think you better than him? Like any type of like link to like try to make a divide in or you're amazing. You don't need him. You're amazing. You don't need
really
her.
Trying to split you guys up.
Yeah, that's a big thing they try to do. Comedians try to do it all the time. They shoot jokes out of it. Your wife better than you. I'll be like, they check the same. You know, you gotta get your jokes back. You know what I'm saying? When stuff happens, it be like that. It be like, man, what you got her for? Check the same. That's why she doing half the work. Check the same.
That's what I was thinking. Like that's got to be like the toughest battle. Just you guys being the married couple in the industry and people trying to do whatever they can to split you guys apart. But that bond there, man, it's special.
Yeah. It's not tough. It's not. I honestly, that one's not tough for us.
No, that one ain't tough for us. But I tell you,
in the beginning, it was.
I tell you one thing though. You gotta imagine this. We telling our story, but you gotta imagine this. Nobody never did this before, so they saying it ain't gonna work. Yeah. It's not gonna work. Married people's married. And they gotta hide it. What are y'all doing? It's not gonna work. But then when you do 10 million views and you trend on WarStar, you shut them up, and now people start changing their tone.
And people are starting, and in our area, people are starting to do shows with their wives. People are starting to do shows with their husbands. People are starting to do podcasts with their mates. Yeah. And I'm happy about that, because if that was my contribution to the world, like to get people from getting out this idea where don't even post your girl, you know what I'm saying, on social media. Don't even post your guy. We this big secret society of lovers and friends. It's like, bro, we not secrets. It's like we not secretly hiding off. Like, be proud about your mate. Post them, talk to them, go live, show people the other options so that people don't think that marriage is dead. You know what I'm saying?
And most of the industry is married, at least half. So it's like, it's this persona, this fake thing that they gotta be 1,000 girls, and you gotta be the girl that's getting the money out of the guy. You know what I mean? It's all good, but we just want to do us, and that's good. You know what I mean? And we're encouraging other people to do. Go ahead, be you. It's cool. Be you. Whatever it is, be you. You know what I mean? I think people, I think that's the problem with artists, why it's hard for them to make it past 2 hours, because they telling one side of them. You know, us as humans, man, we very complex, man. You know what I mean? You might be the guy that like to fight a lot and knock people out, but you come home and you still love your mama. You could tell that story too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You might be knocking that guy out because you and your dad never got along when you really wanted to knock him out, but you're scared to test him, so you went to school and knocked him out. That's another story. You can tell that story too. People is scared to tell their whole life for some reason.
Well, people are scared to be vulnerable.
Right. I don't get it.
Music. You know, that's why they come across so tough. They don't want to be vulnerable.
I don't get it though. I don't get that.
That's like when you hear a vulnerable song, that's a beautiful song. Most of the time it connects with the fans, but it's the more vulnerable, the more of a connection.
And to be honest, I think even with comedy, I think Kevin Hart was the first person to come out to be like, well, not to say a punk, but he played like that. Like, well, I'm not tough. I'm not, you know what I mean? Come on, boy, I don't want to fight nobody. It worked. Yeah. It worked because he was being, I don't know if that's him for real, but he was being a new character we didn't see. All the comedians was tough, and you better not say nothing to the comedian, they'll crack on you and make it look bad. And he was like, I ain't tough at all. Please don't. And it worked. We want to hear different stuff. People want something different. It's more than life. Than 1 or 2 stories, man. It's a lot of stories. We a lot alike, but we got a lot of differences because we experience different things. Life on the East Coast is totally different from life on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. You know, life is different, and people want to hear that. You know, sometimes up here in Ohio, the difference with us, we giving people the story. This is an Ohio story. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we get snow here. There's places that don't see snow. You know what I'm saying? So we telling them how it is and this and that, and they like it. They love it. They get to see it, and they get to see life different. It's like, you know, I get to see a little something different, and I ain't even got to be there. I ain't got experience. You know what I mean? You know, and that's the good part about being a creator. Because to me, we bigger than rappers. We creators. We create things. You know what I mean? And, you know, we just keep creating.
And the cool part is that you guys hit on it just a little earlier, and I spoke it earlier, is you guys are planting your seed. All the seeds are being planted, and you're seeing them blossom. Everybody's starting to jump onto your style now. All the married couples, they're like, hey, let's get in on this. This is actually pretty cool. And that's all it takes. It takes just that one person. In this case, it's 2 people. Changed it all.
Right.
Changed it all, man. All right, as we begin to wrap this podcast up, I just want to say thank you guys for coming on, telling your story. Is there anything that's coming up that the audience should know about?
Yes. Make sure y'all follow us on IG. That's Vickz_Miss Dean on IG. Y'all follow us on Facebook. Tap in with Vickz and Miss Dean. Y'all follow us on YouTube, tap in with Vickz and Miss Dean. We launching the new podcast, Route 8 on the new network, you know what I mean? And tap in with Vickz and Miss Dean network. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. We got so many celebrities on this show. Y'all gonna love it, just like y'all been loving the live show we do. And
every Wednesday at 12.
Every Wednesday at 12:30. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like we're curating content right now. We're gonna be working with more content developers, and we're gonna get more content for the network. So y'all keep checking in on this platform. We built this platform. This platform is for us, by us, and we're gonna make sure y'all have a place to tell y'all story, and y'all have a place to share your content. Because what I realized in this game, you got a lot of people that can create the content, but they can't promote it and they can't get it to the people. Why work hard and spend your time doing that? You can come work with us. We already got the people. They sitting there ready for the good content. So we're doing that as well. So that'll be the big thing. We also
have more shows coming up.
Yeah, we have more shows.
More shows be coming up. We'll post dates and times with.
You just got to keep following us. You'll see
come about.
Dates and times. We got, a lot of shows coming up, and just keep supporting this record, because I want to tell people this record is important. This record is important. this the first married couple that ever drop an album together, but let's not make this the last. If you buy this, it won't be the last. If you don't, it'll probably be the last one. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something about the music business and the entertainment business. They create what we buy. You get what I mean? So so if you buy this, they'll create more of it. If you keep buying and listening and playing something that you don't like, they'll keep creating it because they think you liking it because you playing it and that commercial getting played on top of it. So play this, buy this. If you like it, support it, play it every day because it's important for you to support it because that's any business. They make and create what we consume. So you have to consume it if you want it to keep being created.
And I want to say this before we end, and I didn't want to cut you off, but I feel like it's important for this type of music and what we're doing, Zamunda, the album, pushing love, unity, and marriage, because this isn't just our legacy. This is legacy for a lot of people. This is legacy of relationships, marriage, love, showing people that love still exists. This is a lot of people's legacies and story. This is our grandmother's story. This is our father's story.
Right.
This has so much legacy in it that, you know, if you look on a deeper scale, it's like we fighting to keep love alive. We're in troubling times where, you know, a lot of people are deciding to break away from marriages, break away from relationships, give up on things that they love so easy and walk away and start over. And we're encouraging you to follow the tradition, what we grew up seeing. Love, unity, mom, you know, dad, whatever, however your household was, but it was love there.
It still works. It still works. It's a profitable position to take in life. You know what I mean? So it still works. So love still works. And that's the key. But yeah, that's what we got going on. And new Trillionaire tracksuit just dropped. It's not available on the website right now, but y'all make sure y'all hit us. Is in the inbox again. This is exclusive because it's not even available on officialtrillionaire.com. But we got more stuff that's available on officialtrillionaire.com. But the tracksuits is fresh, it's new. You're seeing people wearing this all over the world. Get yours right now.
We're gonna have to send you a shirt. We're gonna have to send you a t-shirt. So make sure we get your information so we can send it to you.
Heck yeah, I'll wrap
to you for
for being such
a great host and just creating this great platform for people to tell their stories. We want to tell you, man, you keep doing what you're doing because we need people like you. Everybody need places to tell their story. You know what I mean? And you know, we just hoping for great things for you. I know it's a big interview. You're gonna have many more big interviews, and this platform probably gonna just take off. Boom. Blow up, you know what I mean?
And like I always try to tell people, everybody's a big interview to me because everybody's got a story, and that's what that's what it's all about. Everybody's a star in my eyes. Everybody that comes on, I don't know who they. And just so people are, if anybody's wondering, we just met. This is the first time we met. Right. A lot of people get that confused and think that we know each other for a while. No, this is the first time we met, and it's been a great story. But most importantly, somebody's going to ask this question along the line, are you guys going to write a book?
Well, look, I had 2 books that I was developing, and maybe we got a movie out and see the movement. So, you know what I mean? A book probably would come. A book coming. She had one in the works too, you know what I mean? But, you know, we...
No, I'm pretty sure he's talking about writing a book about our marriage, about our pursuing our music. Exactly. That's what you're talking about.
It probably would be a book if a book deal.
It's been a discussion.
It's been a discussion. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a publisher and you out there, you know what I'm saying? We ain't that ain't off the table. You know, we probably would do, but we got a great story.
No rush. I'm saying I know it's gonna be in the future though. Long down the line. Once you guys start to settle down a little bit more, then you guys are gonna be like, okay, now we're gonna write the story and tell you how it was, and and then somebody will probably come back to the show and be like, hey, here we go. There they were. They was talking about it.
Yeah. We're gonna throw some more highlights in there. We're gonna make sure that we make it real juicy, and we're gonna make sure we got so much to live. We got so much more to conquer, and So when we get some more of them wins up under our belt, then we'll start talking about a book.
We probably could do a book now.
I know, but you know how I am. So now turn to the business part. So let's sell out a couple more shows. Let's stay focused.
Yeah, because we could put the sauce. We got the sauce. We can put the sauce out. Man, but it's all good.
It's in the works.
It's coming. We writing it right now.
Yeah.
Through life.
And I want you guys, as you guys continue to grow in the industry and keep doing your music, to always live by those words. It's just beginning. It's only just the beginning. Don't get to that point where it's like, oh, we're finished now. No, keep going with that. Say it's only just the beginning. It's never finished. Just keep going.
Right. That's what's up. That's real talk.
But as we begin to wrap this thing up and finally the last couple seconds, if anybody wants to reach out to you, how do they get in contact with you guys?
What's up again? So basically on IG, Vickz_Miss Dean. That's TVICKZ_MRSDAN. That's on IG. You got us on Facebook. Tap in with Vickz and Miss Dean. And then also, what's the tap in number? You can also contact our business line
at 330-849-4722. You can hit us direct.
And also for the Trillionaire Clothing, if you guys want to be a part of the movement, if you guys want to buy some apparel, you can go to officialtrillionaire.com and get you guys some nice clothing.
Yeah,
we have anything from the women's apparel to the men's. So
men's apparel, we got skull caps, we got dad hats, we got snapbacks, we have shoes. Man, we got the all gold crushed Trillionaire shoes that's out right now. If you really want a luxury pair of shoes, all of the hip hop artists got them in their collection. These shoes are, they're gonna be worth $10,000. Right now, you can get them for $1,000. Beautiful shoe.
Yes, sir.
All right, you guys heard this story. This is Chris, the podcast host. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to Tell Me Your Story. And also be